In between new and home. So, there's a place no one tells you about. It isn't where you come from, and it's not where you're going. It's a quiet country between the two, where every grocery store feels borrowed. Every sunset is beautiful but unfamiliar, where loneliness walks beside hope, and they both insist they're telling the truth. You'll learn how to carry both. You grieve while making new memories, and you miss the people that felt like home. You wonder if leaving was worth it on a Tuesday, then laugh so hard on a Saturday that the question forgets to come back. You carry the quiet ache of knowing your heart, yet being misunderstood by others. For a while you think, maybe that meant you were in the wrong place. But maybe it simply meant you were still somewhere in between new and home. Slowly, the barista recognizes you. You stop checking your GPS. You have somewhere to be on a Wednesday night, and someone saves you a seat. One ordinary day, without ceremony, you realize you started saying, "I'm heading home," not because the city changed, because you did. Maybe that's what the in-between is for. Not to teach us how to love a place, but to discover that home isn't found all at once. It's built, one brave yes, one familiar face, and one ordinary day at a time. My name is Railatu, and about 9 months ago, I moved from one city to another to close the gap between a long-distance relationship. And I came in scared. I left my rhythm. I left what I knew was home to continue a love story with someone who was the only person I knew in the city. And that was pretty brave of me, I'll have to say. It was beautiful. I came in excited, full of gratitude, and just looking to explore this new city. But I was met with a lot of obstacles that made it hard for me to love the city. The job market was pretty rough. I'd never experienced this in my entire adulthood. Looking for a job was something that took such a long time to find, and when I thought I found the one, it ended up not being the one, and I was back in the market. But I'm very grateful for the job I do have now. It's perfect for me in this season. It was challenging to settle in a home that didn't feel like a home. My living situation wasn't something that helped me flourish. Instead, I felt like I was slowly dying again, and this was another obstacle that I would have to persevere through. But things changed, and it was awesome. God answered my prayer, and I was in a better situation. So I thought I left a dungeon and was in a castle, but the castle ended up being a dungeon, not because of its looks, but because of the people in it. And that was really hard for me to feel like I wasn't safe now, not because of the environment, but because of its people. And it was hard to make friends. Actually, it wasn't that hard. It was simple, but complex at the same time. I think maintaining relationships take a lot, but the people here are super lovely, down to earth, and really fun to spend time with, so that's been great. Now I can say that I am home, or closer to being home. I feel safe. I have a safe space that I can go where I don't feel threatened by the people that I live with. And I have an incredible job. I have an incredible partner who has learned and grown a lot throughout this experience. And it's so fun because this is a city we're both unfamiliar with, and we get to learn the streets together, and we get to explore together. And he's been super supportive, and we've unlocked, I guess you could say, new levels in our relationship, and have grown closer together, and I've learned what it looks like to fight for each other together in unity. So that's been great. I think emotions, I have high days, I have low days, but it's always felt good to go back and visit home, and the smell and the things I see, childhood homes and all these beautiful things that made my home a home. It just feels good to go back and see, but it's sad that I can't bring that with me here. But there's been so many adventures that I've gotten the privilege of experiencing, and I know that this isn't my forever city, this isn't where I'll stay, but it is where I am now, and I've updated everything, my documents, to be in this city and in this state, so I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I have 3 more Christmases here, but I know it's gonna be good ones, actually. I'm very optimistic, and I know how to make the most of everything. So this is gonna be a fun time. Will I ever visit again? I don't think so. As of now, I don't see this city as a city that I'll visit again because of all the hurt that I had to endure and had to learn to heal through and grieve. I really wanted this city to be a city where I just heal and not grieve, but I'm still living in the things that make it hard. I've just learned how to make it easier for myself. So I don't think that this is a city I'll ever want to come visit to see its people. But maybe I'll come by and show my kids, maybe hey, this is the city where your dad and I went after our careers, and this is a city where we closed a gap within our long distance relationship, and this city will hold a lot of significance because I'm sure there will be lots of things that I'll experience here, but it's not quite home, if that makes sense. Or maybe it's just a dance and I'll continue yeah, it's home, but it's not. I think it's because it is my home for these next few years, but it's not my forever home, and I don't really feel at home in the city. But I've learned to make it a home. I'm in the in-between, and I love it now, I could say. I've made friends who talked about water sports. The city has a lot of rivers, and I'm a little nervous because it's something I've never done before, and I'm also nervous because I sometimes get in my head about friendships, oh my gosh, what if they don't really like me, or what if I'm forcing myself onto people? But that's not really the case. I think it's just a lot of childhood trauma that chooses to show up in this way. So there's that. The food here, oh my gosh, it's terrible. I expected so much more. I think you really need to know a foodie, and you really need to know what spots are good. And you can't trust all the TikTok foodies because some of them just want content. And there's been a time where I went because someone on social media hyped up a spot, and I believed it, so I went, and it wasn't the best experience. I spent a lot of money for food that didn't add up. The portion sizes were not favorable, and the flavor was overpowering, and it was delicious, but just not that price. The price didn't match, basically. So, not for that price, I mean. So yeah, there's that too, as far as food. But that is all I have for today. I love you so much. Thank you for spending time with me and listening to my journey.